Rachelsey at the movies, yay!
And this is an edition of Rachelsey at their couch because we watched the movie Marriage Story starring Scarlett Johansson
and Kylo Ren
and Adam Driver, which released on Netflix, but it was
nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah, so we definitely wanted to watch it. A movie of this type of
this genre
content,
not really our thing.
I have to really pull myself to watch it.
Yeah.
We made time because we were like, well, this was nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah, and this was the first year. I'm 40. I'm turning 41 in February. This is the first year of my life I can confidently say that I saw every single movie that was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Picture this year. So it's kind of a rare achievement. I feel like I should get some kind of an award, or like at least a shirt that says I did it.
I think we saw one movie.
Yeah. So we've come a long way.
It was a good one, but
we've come a long way, baby.
Yeah. So Marriage Story follows the, I don't know, what would you say, the beginnings,
the changing of a relationship.
Yeah, the changing of a relationship. That's a good way to put it. Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson play a married couple who are, they're not sure they want to be married anymore. And it just follows how that unfolds. Kelsey, go, wait, or skip.
Go see this movie. I think this movie was a very artfully done movie with beautiful performances by both the principal leads. And I thought this movie's depiction of love, of real love in a very, very difficult circumstance, is something that, frankly, the world needs more of in movies and art, and the world needs more of in reality.
I'm also going to say go see this movie because it was so well done, and it just hit me like right in the heart. The way the movie was written and how, the performances by Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson were just really fantastic to take something that I'm having a hard time finding words, but lots of us are married. We all know people who are married, and we know that marriage can be really hard. And yet, that makes it seem kind of mundane almost. But to take that and, essentially drive it deep into my heart with the emotional, without it being sappy. It wasn't sentimental. It wasn't sappy. They didn't put emotional things in there just to we really gotta drive this home. Yet, it was so authentic and genuine in its portrayal.
Spoilers.
So I heard before I watched this movie, the married couple here, that they get a divorce, and that was made me. I was like, why do I want to watch this? I was like, well, that seems tough and hard, and so that was a primary reason I really delayed watching this movie.
Yeah, I'm usually not interested in these types of movies, but also I didn't want to watch a movie about. I thought it was going to be a different movie. I didn't expect to find. First of all, I didn't really know that Scarlett Johansson was such a good actress until I saw her in this movie. I think she's great as Black Widow and all that. I've seen her in some other movies, but it's not like I'm some big movie buff or whatever that's seen all her performances. So I thought it was great. I thought that this movie turned out to be a surprising movie. It was a well thought out marriage story. Well, this marriage ended in the movie, but the love in the movie persisted. And I think that divorce is something that's obviously very, very common in our culture today and has been for a long time. And yet this movie found a way to show the time-lasting value of love in all relationships, even when relationships don't go as planned. And I think that was amazing. And I was stirring, gripping, felt in this movie the whole time. It was funny at times. It was beautiful at times. And then that end scene where she ties this shoe for him was just a beautiful castle. That should be the end. And it totally was. Anytime you see a movie and you're like, oh, that should be the end of the movie. And it is. That's a good movie. So I thought it was a really, really great movie. So much so that I was like, was this the best movie? I had to kind of rethink. I'd kind of just thrown this away because of what I perceived the plot to be. Mm-hmm. But then in reality, the plot was really about love, which, I like if you follow this channel. And it used this common occurrence, and to use that as the backdrop. And I thought it was great. Adam Driver was great. The only caveat, though, is if you're a big Star Wars fan, like me and Rachel, the whole time, all you're going to see and think about often is Kylo Ren, either from the Star Wars movies or from the Saturday Night Live thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then sometimes I was like, oh, it's him and Rey. But it was fun. It made it fun.
Yeah. Well, I think that what Kelsey just shared is very well put. I totally agree. This movie
that's a rarity on our show. Or in life.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
This movie took like I said earlier, something that could almost be considered mundane, like it's so common, but yet it's not. I think anybody that has experienced marriage knows that marriage is special, it is deep, it is hard. It's anything but mundane, despite how common it is. And so it's actually like the perfect thing to take and make a movie about, and it's to have like this snapshot, right? Because it wasn't their entire marriage. You had this snapshot, and they just did a really great job, and it was really like genuine and authentic. You know, Scarlett Johansson's character plays a actress, yet she wasn't like, she looked like a real person. You know what I mean? And I thought everybody in the movie seemed like a real person. Laura Dern played an LA like family, lawyer, marriage lawyer. And I don't know, the story I make up is that's not the real Laura Dern. Like, she was very much like LA, just like you would imagine for that.
And Scarlett Johansson looked so like a normal person that it made me ponder, like, I was like, oh, can all people kind of look like movie stars? Do we just have bad haircuts? You know what I mean? Like, I thought about this for like a good 10 minutes.
Well, yeah, this is why...
That's how good an actor she was, too. Because I was like, oh, this is amazing. But then I was like, oh, what are they doing that make people so, like, you know?
Well, I don't know if you remember, but Cameron Diaz, when she was in the Being John Malkovich, it was a big shock to people because she looked so radically different. And then I was listening to something the other day, and the person was talking about the TV series Friends. And how at the beginning of that, all those people were they got a job, right? And they were happy to have a job. But by the middle of that, they were super popular and they were millionaires and they all looked amazing. So they were no longer the typical like New Yorker. Instead, they look super amazing because now in real life, they have access to like all these great skincare and personal trainers and all this stuff. So it is a interesting thing to think upon.
Yeah, and then I was like, man, Adam Driver just always looks like Kylo Ren.
But yeah, it was just really genuine. There were really moving scenes and moments. I thought there was this one scene where they get into this really kind of, not a big fight, but with the words, what they say to each other, like really cuts to the core. Which
you can only do inside of a marriage.
Exactly.
That was the thing. Power.
To be able to hurt somebody with your words, like, I'm not saying you should do this, but it happens because marriage brings you to that, like, breaking point. You know what I mean? And so it's just, it was really good. And like Kelsey said, definitely it showed love, like, through changing circumstances.
Really beautiful film. Like, I enjoyed it from the beginning to the end. And it also highlighted a world that I've only had a glimpse of when we traveled to New York. And I was like, it's different here. Like, artsy people are everywhere. I feel kind of like I fit in almost. Like, I feel weird places. So what I'm saying is around other people that maybe were... Should I say they're weird? I don't know. It's a different thing that I'm used to being around. And I also see it in the arts community and, like, on the other side of the country.
I see it in all kinds of arts.
And I'm like, wow. It's a neat thing to see on the screen because I don't see it a lot where I am in any of the communities, any of the communities that I am.
Yeah, and it was a unique marriage in that way that I don't think I couldn't relate to.
Yeah, it was hard to
the
relate
husband being a director of plays in New York and the wife being an actress,
Yeah.
like in Hollywood and on stage, that part was not mundane at all, because that's not common.
Yeah.
It is a story I make up.
And they would emote through song. That's interesting.
Right, yeah.
So
he
it's just
had a
interesting.
scene, and that
Yeah.
was even hard for me to process. I still like that song because I'm not that kind of person.
I was like, somebody's going to make fun of him. Right?
But
I'm like,
nobody
right?
did. Nobody did.
Yeah, because they wouldn't do that.
Anyway, definitely a really good movie. We really enjoyed it. I think I'd speak for both of us. We were both really glad we watched it and that we didn't skip it.
And I think, was Scarlett Johansson up for an Academy Award in this movie?
I'm pretty sure,
Okay,
yeah.
well, she was robbed because who won it was Judy Garland.
Oh.
It was,
you can go back. I'll link our Judy movie review. We did not care
you
for
got
it.
robbed, ScarJo. Do people call her ScarJo?
I don't know.
They do. They should.
Anyway, regardless of how you refer to Scarlett Johansson, we would ask you to please like, comment, and subscribe so you can help the channel grow.